Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Text 17, is that right? 18 and 19?
Yeah, we do say
17? Okay. Sautye vrita kumati natmada ishvaro me yet pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya mam shrantavaham arayo ratino bhuvistvam na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta sautye vrita kumati natmada ishvaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya mam shrantavaham arayo ratino bhuvistam na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta sautye vrita kumati natmada ishvaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya mam shrantavaham arayo ratino bhuvistam na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta
Sautye vrita kumati natmada ishvaro me
sautye vrita kumitanatmada ishvaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya
mam shrantavaham arayo ratino
bhuvistam na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta.
Sautye vrita kumati natmada ishvaro me
sautye vrita kumatinatmada ishvaro me
yat pada padma bhavaya bhajanti bhavya
yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya
Vahamarayo Rafino Bhuvistam
mam shantavaham arayo ratino bhuvistam
na praharam yad anubhava nirasta vitta
na praharan yad anubhava nirasta chitta.
Ishvaro me yat pada padma bhavaya bhajanti bhavya ma shanta bhavaya ithato bhuvistam na praharam yadanu bhava nirasa vittita
Sautyeyavrata kumatinatmada isvaromi
Sautyeyavrata kumatinatmada
Ishwarome
yatpada padmam abhavya bhajanti bhavyaha
Yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya
mam santavaham aryoratino bhuvisantam
Mam Shrantavaham Marayoratino Bhuvishtam
napraharam yad anubhava nirasta chittam
Napraharan Yad Anubhava Nirasta Chitta. Sautye, regarding a chariot driver, Vrita, engaged, Kumatina, by bad consciousness, Atmada, one who delivers, Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, my, yet, whose, Pada Padmam, lotus feet, Abhavaya, in the matter of salvation, Bhajanti, do render service, Bhavya, the intelligent class of men, Mam, unto me, Shranta, thirsty, Vaham, my horses, Araya, the enemies, Ratina, a great general, Bhuvistam, while standing on the ground, Na, did not, Praharan, attack, yet, whose Anubhava, mercy, Nirasta, being absent, Chitta, mind. Translation. It was by His mercy alone, it was by His mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage Him as my chariot driver, for He is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Swami Bhaktivedanta Śrīla Prabhupāda. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the object of worship both by impersonalists and by the devotees of the Lord. The impersonalists worship His glowing effulgence emanating from His transcendental body of eternal form, bliss and knowledge. And the devotees worship Him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are below even the impersonalists consider Him to be one of the great historical personalities. The Lord, however, descends to attract all by His specific transcendental pastimes, and thus He plays the part of the most perfect master, friend, son, and lover. His transcendental relation with Arjuna was in friendship, and the Lord therefore played the part perfectly, as He did with His parents, lovers, and wives. While playing in such a perfect transcendental relation, the devotee forgets, by the internal potency of the Lord, that his friend or son is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although sometimes the devotee is bewildered by the acts of the Lord. After the departure of the Lord, Arjuna was conscious of his great friend, but there was no mistake on the part of Arjuna, nor any ill estimation of the Lord. Intelligent men are attracted by the transcendental acting of the Lord with a pure, unalloyed devotee like Arjuna. In the war field, scarcity of water is a well-known fact. Water is very rare there, and both the animals and men working strenuously on the war field constantly require water to quench their thirst. Especially wounded soldiers and generals feel very thirsty at the time of death, and it sometimes so happens that simply for want of water, one has to die unavoidably. But such scarcity of water was solved in the battle of Kurukshetra by means of boring the ground. By God's grace, water can be easily obtained from any place if there is facility for boring the ground. The modern system works on the same principle of boring the ground, but modern engineers are still unable to dig immediately wherever necessary. It appears, however, from the history as far back as the days of the Pandavas, that big generals like Arjuna could at once supply water even to the horses, and what to speak of men. By drawing water from underneath the ground, from underneath the hard ground, simply by penetrating the stratum with a sharp arrow, a method still unknown to the modern scientists.
So can we do 18 and 19?
18 and 19 also. Verse 18. Narmani udara ruchira smita sobitani.
Nirmanyudara ruchirasti tasovitani.
He Pata, he Arjuna, sake kuru nanditi.
He Partha, he Arjuna, Sake Kuru Nandaneti.
He Pata, he Arjuna, sake kuru nandaneti.
He Partha, he Arjuna, Sake Kuru Nandaneti.
Sanjal pitani naradeva hridi sparshani.
Sanjalpitani Naradeva Ridishvishani.
Smartur lutanti hridayam mama madhavasya.
Smatur Lutanti Hridayam Mamadavasya.
Narmani,
Nirmani.
conversation and jokes.
Conversation.
Udara,
Udara.
talked very frankly.
Talk very frankly.
Ruchira,
Ruchira.
pleasing.
Pleasing.
Smita Shobhitani,
Smita Sovitani.
decorated with a smiling face.
Decorated with a smiling face.
Hey, note of address.
Out of address.
Partha, O son of Pritha.
O son of Pritha.
Hey, note of address.
Out of address.
Arjuna, Arjuna. Sakhe,
Sake.
friend.
Friend.
Kurunandana,
Kuru Nandan.
son of the Kuru dynasty.
Son of the Kuru dynasty.
Iti,
Iti.
and so on.
And so on.
Sanjal Pitani.
Sanjalpitani.
Such conversation.
Such conversation.
Naradeva,
Naradeva.
O king,
O king.
Hridi,
Hridi.
heart.
Heart.
Sparshani,
Varshani.
touching.
Touching.
Smartu,
Smarting.
by remembering them.
By remembering them.
Lutanti,
Tanti.
overwhelms.
Overwhelms.
Hridayam,
Hridayam.
heart and soul.
Heart and soul.
Mama,
Mama.
my. Madhavasya,
Madhavasya.
of Madhava, Krishna.
Madhava Krishna.
Translation. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as O son of Pritha, O friend, O son of the Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. Text 19. Savya Sanatana Vikathana Bhojanadishva
Sayya Sanatana Vikathana Bhojanadis.
Aikyat Vayasya Ritavaniti Vipralabdha
Vaikyatvayasya Ritavani Vipralabdha.
Sakyu Sakheva Pitruvat Tanayasya Sarvam.
Sakya Shusathev Pitrivatanasya Sarvam
Sehe Mahan Mahitaya Kumate Aghamme.
Sehe Mahan Mahitaya Kumate Raghamme.
Saya,
Shaya,
sleeping on one bed.
sleeping on one bed.
Asana,
Asana,
sitting on one seat.
sitting on one seat.
Atana,
Atana,
walking together.
walking together.
Vikattana,
Vikattana,
self-adoration.
self-adoration.
Bhojana,
Bhojana,
dining together.
together.
Adishu,
Adishu,
and in all such dealings.
and all such dealings.
Aikya,
Aikya,
because of oneness.
because of oneness.
Vayasya,
Vayasya,
O my friend.
O my friend.
Ritavan,
Ritavan,
truthful.
truthful.
Iti,
Iti,
thus.
thus.
Vipralabdha,
Vipralabdha,
misbehaved. Sakyu, unto a friend.
unto a friend.
Sakha iva,
Sakha eva,
just like a friend.
just like a friend.
Pitrivat,
Pitriva,
just like the father.
just like the father.
Tanayasya,
Pranayasya,
of a child.
of a child.
Sarvam,
Sarvam,
all. Sehe,
Shahi,
tolerated.
tolerant,
Mahan,
Mahan,
great.
great,
Mahitaya,
Mahitaya,
by glories.
by glory,
Kumate,
Kumate,
of one who is of low mentality.
of one who is of low mentality.
Agam,
Agam,
offense.
offense,
Me, mine.
mind.
Translation. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit and loiter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes, if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, "My friend, you are very truthful." Even in those hours when his value was minimized, he, being the Supreme Soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki. Since the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is all perfect, his transcendental pastimes with his pure devotees never lack anything in any respect, either as a friend, son, or lover. The Lord relishes the reproaches of friends, parents, or fiancés more than the Vedic hymns offered to him by great learned scholars and religionists in an official fashion. Jai Shri Radha Kunja Bihari. Today we are reading and discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Amala Puranam. This is the spotless Purana. It is said that
This way is lovely.
loudly. Do we have mic? Doesn't work. No, it's okay. I'll speak loud. It is said that. Is that better? Thank you.
Let's hear it from
Should we bring mic? Should we bring mic?
This is good.
It's good? Okay. So it is said that Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is Amala Puranam, the spotless Purana. It is considered the sun among all scriptures. When the sun rises, all of the stars in the sky fade into insignificance. We cannot even see them. So when the sun of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam rises, all other scriptures fade into insignificance. Because this scripture gives us the most valuable thing in all creation. It can give us Krishna Bhakti, pure love of God, Krishna. So we are very fortunate that we are assembled here today to discuss from this most glorious of all scriptures. And it is especially a very fortunate day for us because we have with us two Brajbasis who have come from the holiest of holy places. Sri Vrindavan Dham.
Yes. Leave it there.
Just your presence here is purifying our existence. So I want to offer gratitude to Narendra Krishna Prabhu and Saroj Netri Mataji. Two of you probably already know them, but you look like a new face to me.
I'm from ISKCON.
ISKCON Foundation. Welcome, Prabhu. So these two great personalities, they served Radha Kunjabihari here at Devasadan Mandir for many decades. And when the time was right, they decided to retire to Sri Vrindavan Dham in India, where they are serving many months of a year. They serve over there and then they come here for a few months. They continue their service here. So we are very grateful, Prabhu. Both of you have set such a wonderful example. So just yesterday I was thinking, what can I speak in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class? So two things sprung up in my mind. One is I wanted to speak about something about this impersonalist mentality of people. And incredibly, today's verse, I didn't know this was the verse I was going to be speaking on. Śrīla Prabhupāda, the purport, he writes about impersonalists. And then the other thing I wanted to speak about is the two of you. And again, there is something about retiring towards the end of our life and how we should lead our life in retirement. So it's pretty incredible that the two subjects I wanted to speak about are being touched upon in these verses and the purports that Śrīla Prabhupāda has written. So a very close friend of mine, he is going through some crisis in his life. He's going through a divorce. And he's separated not only from his wife but from his kids also. So very painful condition of life. And he was raised in the same culture that I was raised in. So we were raised as essentially Mayavadis, impersonalists, believing that God is formless. What's that, Mataji? All of us.
Yeah, Prabhupada was talking about too much Mayavadi.
Yeah.
Somebody said, why are you talking so much? But Prabhupada said, you all are Mayavadi. So I am correct. It's taking time to clean you off. This not has to be removed by Prabhupada.
Yes. Actually, Jagadguru Prabhu, I remember, many years ago he told me that he was in a discussion one time with Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, who used to be our GBC. So he was visiting. This was before I joined. So he said he was talking to Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, and Ravindra Swarup Prabhu was revealing some of the old pastimes of Śrīla Prabhupāda. And he told Jagadguru Prabhu, sometimes we would wonder, when Prabhupada was giving class, that as usual Prabhupada would start hammering upon Mayavadis. So Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, he told Jagadguru Prabhu, some of us we were wondering, why is he speaking about this again? We have become devotees, we have given up Mayavad, we have come here, we have become devotees. Why again and again he is speaking about the same thing? So this, as he heard a few more classes of Prabhupada, he said one day he got this realization. And he was sharing his realization with Jagadguru Prabhu. He said, Prabhupada is again and again speaking about Mayavad principles because I realized we are still Mayavadis. So lifetime after lifetime of conditioning we are carrying. It takes a lot of effort to reverse all that conditioning. So he said Prabhupada was still talking about Mayavad again and again and again because I realized I am still a Mayavadi. Yes. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam ante Jnanaman Mam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. And after many, many lifetimes, one comes to this conclusion that Krishna is the cause of all causes. So sometimes, when I was early days in the movement, all of us have been through that phase. We are so enthusiastic because we have found something very valuable. We want to share it with everybody, especially with family members. Then when we present this, there is so much resistance. And I remember arguing endlessly about Krishna consciousness with my parents, my brother. And many years later I understood. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Some of us have been working on this for many, many, many lifetimes. It has taken us so long to get to this stage. So when we present this philosophy to some people, they may not accept because their consciousness has not evolved enough to appreciate the greatness of Krishna consciousness. So we give the mercy, share the mercy in other ways. We give a little prasadam, have them come to the temple, hear the holy names, take darshan. But to understand this philosophy, it's not easy. To understand Krishna is the cause of all causes, it's not easy. We have worked on this for more lifetimes than we can imagine. So we are in an extremely fortunate position that somehow or other we are now assembled, not only accepting that Krishna is the personality of Godhead, but being given this opportunity to speak these wonderful subject matters. So my friend who's going through a very difficult condition in life, he's been calling me very often because we are very close friends from a young age. And while somehow or other, by the mercy of one great soul, another dear friend of mine in high school, who was a devotee of Krishna and a follower of Śrīla Prabhupāda, he convinced me to give up this Mayavad philosophy, this Mayavad spiritual practice, and simply take to the process of Krishna consciousness. So by his mercy, I became a devotee. This other friend, he continued down this path of Mayavad. So yesterday we had one discussion, and I presented something from the Bhagavad Gita, and he gave me his understanding. He spoke for about 10 minutes. And then he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I've heard everything you said. It is so dry, speculative, and completely tasteless." Because as a very dear friend, I could speak like that. I told him, "You spoke for 10 minutes, but you did not even speak a single word of glorification of Bhagavan Krishna, who has spoken this message." So we read how Śrīla Vyasadeva, he compiled so many literatures, volumes and volumes of literatures. And yet he did not feel any satisfaction. He was restless. So when he met his guru, Śrīla Narada Muni said to him, "You are feeling this way because you have not glorified the personality of Godhead. You've written all these volumes, but there's no glorification of the Lord. So write scriptures that glorify the personality of Godhead." And Śrīla Vyasadeva wrote Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then he was completely satisfied. It is very strange because the impersonalists believe everything is one. And everything that exists as we see in the world today is simply illusion, Maya. And yet this friend of mine, he has been calling me practically every day, saying, "I don't know what the purpose of my life is. I don't have my wife anymore. My kids are separated from me. I don't know the purpose of life. I don't even know why I'm living." Now I found that very strange because his philosophy is everything in this world is illusion. This world is an illusion. These relationships are illusion. Everything is illusion. Then why do you need a wife? Why do you need kids? Why do you need to feel this way?
Mayavadi Bhashya Sunana.
Yes. So his philosophy and his feedback are opposite. If you believe everything is Maya and everything is just one, and all this variegatedness we see in this world is simply illusion, then why should you be worried that you no longer have a wife, you no longer can see your kids? You should be happy. But the fact is, he is feeling this way because we are all individual personalities. Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita that we are parts and parcels. Śrīla Prabhupāda has used this beautiful term, parts and parcels. Yes. Mamai vamsa jiva loke jiva buddha sanatana. Yes, eternally. Yes. So Lord Chaitanya presented this philosophy of abheda, achintya bheda bheda tattva, which is simultaneous oneness and difference. So we are one with God, but we are also different from Him simultaneously. It's inconceivable how one can be one and different at the same time. So Śrīla Prabhupāda has given this beautiful example to help us understand sun and sunlight. The sun and sunlight can never be separated. Where there is a sun, there is sunlight. At the same time, one cannot say that the sun ray is the sun. A ray of sun cannot burn us, whereas the sun can burn us to ashes in a moment. So simultaneously one and different. When the sun rises, even without seeing the sun, we can say the sun has risen. How? When we see the rays of sun entering in through the window, we know the sun has risen. So in this way, the sun ray represents the sun. But at the same time, a ray of sun is not the sun itself. Likewise, we are simultaneously one and different than the Lord. And because we have our source in Krishna, the tendency, the longing is there to want to be united with the Lord. Just as the child is never happy when separated from the Father. And it is the nature of the soul, because we have our source in Krishna, because we have come from Krishna, we have all the qualities that He has, except we are little and He is infinite. Just like a drop of water from the ocean, it has concentration of salts and different qualities that the ocean has, except the drop of water is insignificant, but the ocean is very great. So we have all the same qualities. Krishna likes to love and He likes to be loved. So we have that same quality. We want to love and we want to be loved. And it is essentially what the heart is longing for. My spiritual master, he says that things can give pleasure to the senses, but things cannot fulfill the craving of the heart. The heart is simply looking to love and to be loved. So this Mayavad philosophy that everything is one and everything is an illusion, it cannot satisfy the craving of the heart. That is why even though my friend, he believes in this particular philosophy, but he's unable to come to terms with it. Because this nature, wanting to love and wanting to be loved, it can never be given up. Just as fire, when we light a match, it burns, yes, produces light and heat. Wherever you may start a fire, it will burn, it will produce heat, because that is the dharma of fire, to burn and produce heat. Like that, our nature is to love and be loved. It can never be changed. So no matter what philosophy we follow, what spiritual culture we may adapt, we will always feel this longing to love and be loved. So I explained these principles to him. And because he's going through this very painful condition, to be hated by your own kids and wife, very painful condition of life. So I saw this as an opportunity to present some principles from these scriptures. But Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam teaches us perfectly how to love Krishna through the medium of service. Very recently I suffered from serious back pains. So for about 2 months I was unable to even come to the temple. What to speak of serve here. And over those 2 months I started to feel very disconnected. It actually gave me an insight into why Śrīla Prabhupāda translates bhakti as devotional service and not devotion. Because traditionally in India, at least when I was growing up, bhakti was always translated by people of different schools of thought as devotion. But Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional service. Our connection to Krishna is only through seva, through service. There cannot be devotion without service. Love means to serve. How do you express your love to someone? Through our service to that person. So bhakti isn't simply devotion, it is devotional service. It helped me get some understanding why Prabhupada was translated this way. Such a beautiful translation. It's not devotion, it is devotional service. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it teaches us how to serve the Lord in the association of His devotees.
Service to be done with love and devotion.
Yeah.
Service has to be done with service has to be there with it. The love and devotion connected together.
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, Narendra Krishna Prabhu is not simply speaking what he has read. He is speaking from his own realizations. Actually, this entire family is an extraordinary family. Everyone is a devotee. Their kids, their in-laws, their kids, their daughter-in-laws, their grandkids. Pretty remarkable family. So Narendra Krishna Prabhu and Sarojnetri Mataji are perfect examples of not only how to lead Grihastha life, but how to lead life in general. Prabhu was very successful in his career here in Detroit. They raised lovely children who went on to become devotees and are contributing in incredible ways to our temple, Nitai Jivan Prabhu and Nitya Krishna Prabhu and their spouses. And when the time came, they set the perfect example, what one should do in the advanced years of one's life. Sometimes we see, when we go to the parks here in Michigan, old people, they are going walking or boating or just going to the restaurants, spending time with their grandchildren, playing cards sometimes. Śrīla Prabhupāda wrote in his books that essentially here old age people are simply waiting for death, just waiting for death to come and take them. In India it is the same story. If we go to India, we see old people, they have nothing else to do. So they're just spending their time in whatever ways they can, essentially simply waiting for death. But this human life, it is so precious. The purpose of this human life, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam tells us, Savai pumsam paro dharmo ato yato bhakti radokshare ahituki apratyata yayatma suprasidati. The prime occupation for all humanity is to develop an attraction for the message of the Lord. So Krishna has given us these messages through the Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We must develop an attraction to hear these messages. That is the prime occupation for all humanity, not just for a particular class of men or women. Dharma swadhishtita pumsam vikshvakseno katasuya not padaye didiratim shrama eva hi kevalam. This is one verse I quoted to my friend yesterday. I said the purpose of life is not to be very attached to one's family and to serve them with all of one's ability. The prime occupation is to hear, to develop an attraction for the message and to engage in Krishna's service. But if one fails to that, the Bhagavatam declares, Shrama eva hi kevalam, that all your endeavors, whatever they may have been, are just useless labor. Whatever we may do in our lives, towards the end of our life, if we realize we haven't engaged in Krishna's service, if we haven't developed an attraction for his message, an attraction for Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we should understand everything we have done is useless labor. Because at the time of death, according to one's consciousness, one is awarded a new body and chewing the chewed. I remember, I think it was Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, one time he was here and he used this phrase, chewing the chewed. Whatever we did in the last life, the same thing over again, just in a different body, with a different group of people. Acquiring knowledge, material knowledge, finding a job, raising a family, acquiring property and wealth, and then getting old and dying. And then for the following life, if one is fortunate enough to receive a human body, do the same thing all over again. How many times we have done this? We cannot even count. Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, we have discussed this in previous Bhagavatam classes, Natvevaham jato nasam natvam neme janadipam na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. Krishna tells Arjuna, there was never a time when we did not exist. You or I or all these people we see on the battlefield, and never shall there be a time when we shall cease to exist. So if we have never was there a time when we did not exist. Can you imagine how long we've been in this material world? Inconceivably long. So how many bodies we've been through? Even in this human body, how many human bodies we have been through? And each body doing the same thing over and over again. Chewing the chewed. But now we have this opportunity. Somehow or other we have found this process that can help us bring to an end this seemingly eternal journey in this material world and return back to our original constitutional position as servants of Krishna engaged in his loving service. It is what everybody is seeking. But because of the modes of material nature and the influence of those modes, that desire has become perverted and is being expressed in so many different ways. But the Acharyas, because of their causeless mercy, they have descended to present this process to us, to awaken us to the reality. What are we? Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Das Das Sadhudas. That is our eternal position. The servant of those who are engaged in Krishna's service. But because of the influence of the modes of material nature, we have assumed so many identities. I am an Indian, or I am an American, or I am Russian, or German. I am black, brown, or white. I am a Hindu, or a Christian, or a Sikh, or a Muslim, or a Jain, or atheist. And these days some people don't even know what they are. Yes, very confused world. Sarvo phadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. When we engage our time and efforts in serving Krishna and his devotees, all of these false designations are automatically vanquished. And we begin to see ourselves for who we really are. So by the mercy of great souls, those that have dedicated their lives to the service of Krishna, such as Narendra Krishna Prabhu or Sarojini Mataji, who have brought to us the glory and the mercy of Vrindavan. It is our hope that one day we can also follow in their footsteps and dedicate our lives to the service of Sri Sri Radha Kunja Bihari, or wherever we may be.
That's it, wherever they go. Prabhupada built Vrindavan everywhere. Every place of ISKCON is Vrindavan.
Jai, thank you, Prabhu.
So there is no difference.
There's no difference there.
Yes, I think Prabhupada said that our temples are embassies
All temples are there.
to the spiritual world. Yes,
That is a 10-mile radius. This is like a spiritual one.
Oh, it's 10-mile radius?
Something like that.
Wow, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I live only a mile and a half. But 10 miles is a long way. So many fortunate people. I remember one time Jagadguru Prabhu told me, we were driving back, some of us, from a home program on Neff Road, which is not far from here. And as we passed one particular house, Chaitanya Rupa Prabhu, who was in the vehicle, he pointed to that house and he said, this is where Śrīla Prabhupada stayed when he visited Detroit. We have these pictures of Prabhupada in his room upstairs, but he stayed there in that house in the night. I don't know how many days he was here, a few days. So Jagadguru Prabhu told me he considers from here, Devasadan Mandir till that house, an entire area is an extension of Vrindavan. Because Śrīla Prabhupada stayed in that house. And fortunately, the house street where I live is between these 2 points. Where Jagadguru Prabhu lives is also between these 2 points. So we are fortunate there. But Narendra Krishna Prabhu is even more merciful upon us. He has given 10 miles. So anybody within 10 miles.
Something like that we have heard.
Yeah, I've also heard something like that. Yes. They will receive the mercy of Sri Sri Radha Kunja Bihari. So thank you, Prabhu and Mataji. We're very honored that you are here with us. Thank you. And they will be here for a few months, so you'll be with us for many of the major festivals. So we look forward to serving the Lordship in your association under your guidance. Actually, Narendra Krishna Prabhu should be here on this Vyasasan, but somehow by the arrangement of Providence, I am sitting here.
Come on.
I am the listener. I am not recording.
Thank you very much. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Any questions or clarifications, any comments, anything anybody would like to share?
I was listening to Śrīla Prabhupāda in the morning, welcoming. And he said the same thing, that millions of lives we've been passed in different living beings. And finally we received the human body. This is very durlabh. But he emphasized why it's durlabh. So we've been through a lot of different living beings too, right? And there are 8.4 million living beings. Just if you see individual, and then we are going to look. So unlimited. So he said that we don't have time, we just have to take this Krishna conscious very sincerely, very serious, and just come out of this place. We don't have time. Very less time we have.
Yes, Prabhu, I remember last year, my wife organized a surprise 50th birthday party for me. And I was really shocked because I remember many years ago I would joke with my friends saying, my kids were all little, running in all directions. I have 3 kids, right? It was such a challenge. Whether it was a festival or just shopping in a mall, it was always a challenge. The 3 little ones all running in different directions. So I would tell my friends, when I turn 50, I'm going to throw a big party because My kids will all be much, they'll all be teenagers. I'll get my life back. I don't have to run around them wherever I go, right? Since it was there. I don't even know how I got to that point. It went so quickly. There it was, I was 50. So time goes so quickly. And human life is so short already. And time goes fast, so fast. So we have to make use of this opportunity to the maximum.
When we used to be young, and I used to go to my uncle's home, my mama, mom's brother. They are so old people. They look very old. Now we are the same old. So we see our knees. This is that. Right?
Yeah, I was at a wedding a week or two ago in Virginia, and those people were all calling me Mama. So now, yeah, no, I don't have any hair, all whatever beard I have is all grey. And those young people in the teenagers and 20s, they were calling me Mama like that. So you're right. So all the old people we looked at, now we are that.
Well, we do feel that we are young because soul is young. Soul is ever youth, right? So we don't feel that we are that old, but we are. I mean, body is getting, but like
soul is not
soul.
age. Eternal, it's eternal. So cannot be counted age or anything. Soul is insignificant, is small, but still has the same capacity. What so it's like we are like a particle of gold. The gold and gold ornament. There's a difference. Ornament can be so many gold, so much gold will be there. But particle has the same quality, but capacity is insignificant. So we are insignificant compared to Mayavadi says that we are God. Yes, we are God, small God, insignificant God. You have same quality, but insignificant. You can't do anything about it. What Kṛṣṇa can do.
Yes.
Kṛṣṇa we cannot compare with Kṛṣṇa is insignificant.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai.
Praise God.